Hello everyone. Good evening. Do you see my screen and am I audible? Please confirm me.
Yes, we can see your screen and hear you.
Okay, great. So I welcome you all for this workshop related to automation, network automation. So today we would have a open discussion basically. All right. So this won't be related to any classes. It will be open discussion, and I would like to show you what normally we do it in the class or in the workshop or on a day-to-day production scenarios. So how many of you are from the automation background or have done any work on any of the frameworks or any of the libraries that you have for Python? So any experience with automation?
Yeah, currently I'm working on Ginger 2 templating, and I used to uh, template those profiles in regards to like different switches, and then we push them through Ansible to the network source of truth.
Okay, so what in the Jinja templating are you performing?
So in the Ginger 2 templates, I get those ACLs and different types of user controls who are there in our production network team. So we kind of put all those configurations in the Ginger 2 templates. And then when a new device is introduced in the network source of truth, we just
Okay.
push those, Ginger 2
Oh,
templates.
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
How about others? Anyone who has any knowledge here with Python automation? Okay. Let us discuss on some open topics like why do you need automation? What is the purpose of automation? What is the benefits of automation? And if you know any tools or any library, you can also name it out. So anyone who wants to start? Anyone who wants to start or any idea about any of the library that you might be aware or heard about or might use it? So can I ask you if you're aware of Netmiko? How many of you are aware of Netmiko library?
Yes, I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know that too. Netmiko, Permiko, I guess is older.
yes. So these are all SSH based libraries. So can you name some Python based libraries other than SSH based? So in case if I want to do API automation, is there any way? So
I
these are,
suppose netconf.
yeah, netconf is the protocol, but do you know any library that can handle the netconf protocol?
No.
Okay, no issues. So there is a library called NC client. Okay, what else in the API? If I am supposed to do some automation via Python over on API, what other things I have? So have you heard about request library? So these libraries are also being specified in the Cisco DevNet syllabus. If you know, there is a Cisco DevNet certificate for the automation. So Nancy client request are the libraries mentioned there. Have you guys heard about pyATS?
It's pyATS, Cisco's test lab.
Sorry, I think I missed it. Can you come back? Have you heard about pyATS?
Yeah, that's Cisco's testing lab. They use it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So this is Cisco's unit testing framework. That means you can write test cases and can check on a huge collections like routing protocols or test scenarios can be tested using this framework. So this is a Cisco's framework. Have you heard about something for robot framework, which is open source? This is a open source, once again based on Python, and can be used for the test cases, also configurations, also for fetching the thing. Okay, it's a framework. So have you heard about this? Anyone? Cisco also has utilized this framework on its one of the tool called CXTM, which is used for automating or writing the jobs and approving the jobs, etc. So there is a product by Cisco called as CXTM. CXTM is based on the robot framework. Okay. And have you guys heard about Postman tool?
Yeah.
Okay. So Postman, we use it for the API testing, and you can do configuration from the Postman application, or you can convert that into the relevant Python script and also push it from one of the Python IDE like MS Visual Studio or PyCharm. Okay, so apart from this, have anyone worked on any other frameworks? There are few of them which have not listed, like Nornir can be added up in the first line. Have you guys heard about Ansible?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
yes. So this is also highly being used as in terms of playbook. Okay. Other tools which are used these days can one be Golang and Terraform. Terraforms are used in the cloud deployment, and there are certain practical use cases of Golang. So these are all relevant to the automation scenarios or automation world. So in the class, I usually if you know that I take a 2 to 3 month of batch where I conduct dedicated automation classes. So I cover majority of these protocol. This time onwards, I have included robot framework because as it is included in the CXTM. So we will see some examples of robot framework. And also, I've included some test cases from the Terraform side of view because this is applicable on the DevOps streams as well as on the network automation. Okay, so let me just show you the modules that we cover in the classes. So we start with Python theory first, then we go with the Python library where we have all this type of theoretical and the hands-on practical for Netmiko, Napalm, pyNTC, Nornir. And then we go through the Ansible framework where we cover all the beginner to advanced level of the topic of Ansible from AWS, condition writing, for loops, handlers, notifier. And then we have the API section where we cover especially from the NC client, which is netconf or restconf examples. And then we finally go with the DevNet syllabus. If you know, there is a CCNA DevNet 200901. And then as a part of this, I usually give some project so that participant can write it, lab it, and can have some hands-on experience. And from the target devices, usually I cover the Cisco's router and switches. As you know, that is something which is very highly used. Cisco, and then Palo Alto, then FortiGate, then SD-WAN examples, iOS XE examples, ACI example, DNAC example. So I will touch base these things. And yes, ASA FTD from the Cisco side. So these are the target devices. Let me show you some examples of how the practicals are done. First, let me show you something for robot framework. Okay. So I've just come up with some test cases. Let me bring the lab first. This is where we host our lab. You will be receiving this access to this lab material, which consists of all this vendors. You have Palo Alto, iOS XE, Cisco ASA, FortiGate, Arista, Junos, Cisco Catalyst router and switches. And upon once requirement, we can also deploy whatever vendors that is feasible in this, like FI if you need, or anything on a different platform you need, we can add it on this. So let me just show you a basic hands-on just to understand how the labs are done for the automation. So let's say first I pick up one of the IP address from one of the device. I have a IP called 172.16.24.115. So this is a robot framework. Might be you guys have not ever not have worked on the robot framework, but this is very popular these days, and also it's very easy to write. So if I explain you line by line, this is the library. This is the library to have the SSH connectivity. This is the variables, all the variables that I'm going to add: my device IP, my username, my password, and the enable password. And from here, I'm writing my test cases. So it's like in a list format. I say that configure router, open the connection with device IP. So device IP is nothing but this one. Then I say login via this username and this password, which is again defined here. Then I say that enter the enable mode. Okay, it's like your wordings. Enter enable mode, enter configuration mode, configure the interface, and exit the config mode and close the connection. So this is some sort of test cases, and these are being defined later. So I am going to say what is my enter enable mode. These are called keywords. So I will say, what do you mean by enter enable mode? That means write enable. You want to type this. Then read it on the screen. I will get the prompt there, R01, R02. Then I say that run the keyword if password is asked for this. Then I am going to put my enable password. Then I say that, okay, write terminal length 0 and terminal length width 512. So that is the meaning of enable mode. Next, I have defined something called config mode. So I'm going to call that out under the keyword section, and I'm going to say what do I mean by config mode. So I say that I want to go to configuration T. I want to put 1 second of the buffer or the sleep time. Then I had said that enter the configuration mode, and then I set the configure interface, which is being defined here. Write this interface, put this interface configuration, make no shutdown, and take a buffer of 1 second. Then I said exit the config mode. That means put the end button. So usually these are our CLI commands. What you see on the right hand side, that is the key, that is the CLI commands. And on the left hand side, I see the robot framework inbuilt codes, syntaxes, write, read. And each task is being defined in a very layman language. It's not like your Python Netmiko where you write a script. You say that go to connect handler. I do have also the Netmiko script. I'll even show you that. But you see that the robot frameworks are very easy to understand.
Yeah, these are like relatively very easy to understand. It's like just basic CLI commands.
Correct. Yes, exactly. So you just define the step 1, step 2, step 3, and then you just create the section for it. Okay. And what is the end result? How do you run this? So when you do the right click, okay, 1 second. Okay, looks like I have some problem with the ID. Let me just take this and keep it here. Let me create a new file.
Is this framework written on Bash or like some other programming language?
No, it is this robot framework is on Python itself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. The extension of these files are robot. Let me check my libraries once. So I've installed SSH library. Actually, I had disabled few things. Might be because of that, that option is not visible. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll show it on my different terminal. I do have the lab over here. So let me create a new file and let me call it as my first robot script, robot framework dot robot. I'll put this. Yeah. Now when you enter this on a non-installed PyCharm or the ID, it's going to tell you or prompt you to install the plugins. So this option you need to install it. Okay. Now these are four extensions which we need it. If you disable it, then there would be some compatibility issue. Now I have enabled this four option, which by automatically it will ask you to enable on the PyCharm. And also this is a library. So I'm going to go and install this library from settings. Go to the Python interpreter plus symbol and search for robot framework SSH library and click on this. And also we need to install robot framework. Generic automation framework for acceptance testing and robotic process automation. Install. With robot, the advantage is that you can handle SSH if the device are based on SSH. If the device are based on API, you can handle that. You can also integrate almost all the library with robot. You can have Netmiko added to this. You can have Scrapli added to this, or Nornir added to this. If you have any web based scrappers, okay, like or you can have the dashboard, Selenium, Flask. All the plugins or all the libraries are compatible with robot. So it makes very popular to keep one framework where you can have everything. You can have APIs, you can have SSH, you can have the web-based GUI, lot of things. Now we have installed the robot libraries. We can see there are some color coding has been changed. Now to run this, I'll just right click and okay, I think I'm still missing something. Okay, run the script. Let us see from this spot. So you can see the output. See, this is the output that you see. Okay, it is totally different than your regular Netmiko scenarios. So you said configuration, yes, it is done. Then you said that one test you have written to configure the Giga Ethernet, that is done. And then you also have one test passed. Okay, so it's a compiled format of your end result. And second important thing, interesting thing is that it is going to generate a log files for you. Because see, when you're testing a certain feature, let's say BGP feature on you have written some test cases. Do I see this neighbor 1.1.1? Is it uptime more than 2 minutes? And etc etc. Let's say you have done a lot of test cases for BGP, and for which you need multiple command output. Might be 20 different set of show BGP output that you need to conclude this test result. Now when the test results are done or the script is executed, it will also create a automated graphical output for you, which I'm going to show now. Okay, see, this is the file which I just copied. This is the file. So let us see that file now. When I go to the project, I think I can open up here. Yeah, do you see this file log.html? That is nothing but this file. Let me open it in the browser. Okay. If I open in the PyCharm, it won't reflect us the front end. So let me open it in the browser. See, this is how the output report will look like. So this is where you have written your test cases. You don't need to work on another graphical programming language to create this. It will give you all the end result. So you had created the keywords. You said that take the connection, right? So it said that it is generating a log messages, open a new session. Then you defined another keyword to input the username and password. So you input the password, you got the banner from the Cisco device, which came in the read format. And then you can also see the password was input, which is kept confidential. They have not revealed it. And then you see the prompt. As soon as you see the prompt, you mentioned the next keyword where you wanted to enter the enable mode. And you said you want to write this enable, right? So that happens. After that, you went with the next keyword, which was if the password is seen, then you basically want to enter the enable password, which in our case didn't happen. The result is we were already under the root privilege. So you can see that runs the given keyword if the condition is true. But at my case, condition was false. The reason is I was already on the level 15. This user was level 15 and I'm already bypassed this mode. So you see how it handled it. It said that if the condition is true, but in my case, this was not making any significance. Then I put this. Then I put this. The reason is we have defined under the keyword. You can see the different keywords here. So why I'm showing you this, let's say you're stuck at any point. You have your log messages documented in this detailed format. You can go and open it and you can conclude, okay, the issue is happening at this point. So let me fix this on the device. Because a lot of time what happens, we write a very lengthy program, but we miss out troubleshooting part. We don't have much control on the troubleshooting. We go start looking at our script, we go to the line, we start fixing up the line. Sometimes it is calling another function, another class, and a lot of things happen. But here the level of output that is automatically generated, it's a very I mean very useful thing. Okay, every keywords are getting recorded here along with the time. So you can see that it went to configuration mode. Then you put the config t command. You said 1 second of sleep time. Then you went to the configuration interface. So at this point, you got to do the actual work. So you can see that you put the interface. Then you assign the IP addressing. You can even see how your device is giving you the prompt. If it is giving you the format to configure or not, right? And then finally you went to the no shutdown and you came out of this. So a complete end to end. You will not get this kind of output with any of Python library. I can even show you if it was a regular Python scenarios like Netmiko. Hardly you will get any way to find out if the issue is at this point or the issue is at this point. You will get a very generic messages, say like line 540 is having the problem, but that line is those lines are sometimes not even on your script. The reason is Python is consisting of lot of functions, a lot of classes. So there is chances your script is calling some function which is on different line. And that's why your output shows you line 400 has the issue, whereas you don't have those number of line with you, right? So this is a framework. The framework which is having its own way to deal the configurations and its own way to uh, handle such request. I don't say that this is the only end. You have lot of option. Uh, you can consider this as one of the option. I'll show you one tool now. If you heard about Cisco CXTM, this is one of the tool which is used for CI/CD and test manager. It is used in the production where you can write your jobs for iOS upgrade or configuration push. So how does feed the you feed you feed the script to this? It is completely from the robot framework. If you just check its fundamentals or its test cases, you will be surprised to see that this whole thing is built on robot framework. So you can create this kind of test cases and you can use this kind of dashboards to push it. The good thing about this tool is you can have your team working on this. You can have multiple changes pipeline. You can have a approval management on this tool. So can you see this test cases? These test cases are written on the robot framework. So when Cisco is using it for its one of the upcoming project, then you just see the opportunity that this framework has it. Okay. So this is how the test cases are written, and you just have to You just have to start this from the dashboard, and that's how Cisco builds it to its customer for the upgrade process, for the configuration process. So you can see these are all test cases. Let's see if they have any examples of any robot framework. See, these are all the test cases that they have written. Verify the software version, verify the interface state, verify the netconf state, verify the REST method for interface state, verify the CLI method. So almost everything you can do it from this CXTM tool. However, these are all individual scripts that is written using the robot framework. Okay, CXTA.
Sagar, what are some limitations of this framework?
See, there is no such like limitation because this can work with all the libraries. So I don't find any limitation in this scenario, but I can say the limitation would be from learning the perspective, because now everyone knows about the generic way of writing Python using if condition, for loop, and etc. This seems little different. So that might be only the condition. Otherwise, you can you can have Netmiko added along with this. You can have any other graphical interface libraries along with it. And most importantly, this is open source. If you are working for companies like Jonos or something, you can also use it.
So, can we also use this for like daily purpose tooling in network engineering roles? For example, a network production engineer role.
Yes, you can use this for that also. As I told you, you can add or include it with Netmiko. Okay, or you can also add and include with any library Excel libraries, which can create the audit report, which can create the graphical interface. You can add it with pandas to make the tabular content. So the options are endless. Robot frameworks can go hand by hand with any library.
Yeah, I mean, this would reduce a lot of time for a person like me who spent some time figuring out the syntax of Python.
Yes. Okay, so this was a quick introduction on so you can also see here CAT 8K, which is nowadays used in SD-WAN or SDN technology. Even for that, they are using the robot framework for supplying the details and this. So the graphical interface is making your front end access to give the data, which later on will be fed to the robot framework. Okay, that is a new thing which I'm going to add it along with pyAT. We will also be checking out uh, the pyAT scenario. pyAT has its own benefits and its own way to operate. But remember, this is a Cisco framework. Cisco definitely use it a big time on regular testing cases, regression testing, and for all other things. And robot framework is also something which is used nowadays in most of the enterprises. Okay, let me quickly show some basic automation which might be others would not have ever done anything with Python. So let me just show you something for that. I've just written few things here. See, this used to be the regular automation script where we have Netmiko. We used to write the for loops, the conditions, and all those things. So, so what is this example for? This example was to read from some Excel file which is located at this. Read from this sheet and then do the needful configurations, and if there is any device failure, record it on a file or if there is any authentication, then take it on a different file. So this is a script to read from the CSV file. So let me show you the format of that CSV file. So if I go to this location, so this is how, let's say your customer gives you a lengthier report where he wants you to configure these changes on set devices. You might have Cisco, you might have any other CLI based vendor, right? So you can have this kind of CSV. So let me update. Let's say if I go to my device, I have some devices. Let me take that. Show IP into brief 115. So I'm going to update the first device here 115. Sorry. Then I have the second one. Let me take one more device. 136. Okay, so let me show for these two devices. This is my source file, basically what you call as input file. Script is going to read on each of the cell, take it to the variable, store it under the variable, and then reuse for connection making, configuration push, and also fetching of the CLI commands. So now if I go to the script, so let me say if I trigger it from the right click and run this. Okay, where is it? Line 6. It says that there was some unexpected indentation. So I'm going to fix that. See, now it read from the device, okay? It read from the device. It also connected to that device. It says that connected here. And then it takes the output of whatever you have said. And also it will do the configuration. You can see the configuration part. And then it goes to the next devices. Next devices is here, R2. Same thing it does. It is going to read it and move further with the configuration blocks. And those devices which failed, you can see that there were few failures, right? It says that due to timeout. We have put the exceptional handling inside our script. So if you see this block for all the timeout, this is my exceptional handling. I say that all the devices that is failing due to timeout, I want to capture at this location on under this file called timeout. So if I open that now, let's say I open this, go over here. There is a file created. Let me open. See. Now let's say I am configuring this on 300 devices. And there is high chances out of 300, 10 or 15 didn't work due to SSH issue or authentication issue. So at the end, I have to tell my management that these device failed due to timed out or due to authentication. You can see that how smart this script is, that it gave you a file separately with this number of devices being timeout. And those devices which are successfully done, you can take them also in a different file. Okay, and you can also verify the configuration whether this is fetched or not. Give me just 1 minute, I'll be just back. Yeah, guys, I'm back. So, any doubt with the example that you just saw? So, did you get to know what do we do in this example?
Yep.
Okay. So these are all your day-to-day things that you basically do it. Okay. So these are all day-to-day, like creation of VLAN, fetching, configuration, uh, could be audit reports, iOS upgrade. But how do you do and how the input comes to you also matter. If they give you CSV, then you have to read it. If they give you the notepad, then you have to read that notepad. If you need to fetch or make your own inventory, then you have to do it yourself. So these are all the practical scenarios. That is what is actually documented here. When we go through this libraries, we have these practical scenarios. Okay, now as I have also included the robot framework and pyATS, we will also be checking out those frameworks too. And we will see like at what scenario we can use it, robot framework, and on what scenario we can use the pyATS. Okay, let me also show you one example from something to build from the dashboard. Let me first update the IP. Are you guys in your shift hours or you guys are off shift hours? Is this your shift hours right now?
Yeah, I
I'm
am.
about to start my shift.
Okay,
I'm in Chicago, so just jump.
Yes, still working.
okay. So the batch is on weekends. It's only the workshop that we kept it today just to show you the course material and show you a quick workshop. Otherwise, the classes are on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, I'll show you one more example. This is from the, front end creation. You might know that Python is a backend programming tool. You can't give this to a beginner. He might definitely break the syntax. So in that case, you can also build some front end automation. That means the person has to just execute and he gets something, some dashboard like this, and then he can select it from the inventory that you have kept it. Say for example, if I select R01. Okay, let me update few things here. So let's say this is 105. Let me delete the rest of the thing. So now you can see here there would be 105. 105 is my updated inventory. I have the credential which is stored just next to it. And let's say I want to fetch show IP int brief out of this device. So I'll click on connect button. It will do the SSH and it will fetch me the output on this terminal. And if you want to save it, there is an option to save that as well. So you have the option to save save the output. So it will just save it. Sometimes what happen, you have to make a small application where this kind of prompt can check the BGP neighbors or can fetch you the BGP neighbor or can do a quick trace route, and you can have everything developed on a drop down menu as well. Say for example, I have kept few drop down because there is chances people do not remember this trace command. So you can keep ping command in this, you can keep trace route, you can keep show CDP neighbors, you can see keep show BGP. So what happens is they just have to select that. They will select the device R1, R2, whatever it is, and then they will just click on connect button. And behind the scene, you have already written the needful configuration. See, you have the show ARP now. So if you open it on a full screen, you can see the show RPO. So you have the first output on the third terminal. Okay, on this one. And also you have the CLI command one where you have stored this one, and you can take the backup, you can attach it. So I'm going to discuss about the front end as well in the course outline. So let me just quickly go to this. Whatever is included here. Along with this, there are three new things that would be discussed here. One is on the graphical making. So I have some examples from Thinker and Flask. And also, if you heard about Selenium, that's also used in the robot framework. And then we will also check from pyATS and also the robot framework. So these are the new things. Apart from that, already the material is very heavy. You have SSH libraries. You got Netmiko, Nornir, pyNTC. And from Ansible, again, from the beginner level to the advanced level, we touch base topics like handlers, uh, condition writing, Ansible Galaxy, Ansible AWX. Okay. And then we have REST API scenarios, which is totally based on HTTP protocol automation. Almost all your graphical interface like SD-WAN dashboard automation, DNAC dashboard automation, Meraki dashboard automation. They are all done via the REST API. Okay. And then to touch base the certification, we will go through the Cisco DevNet 200901 as well. So these are the course material, and it is going to be on the weekends. And the time slot, usually I keep it I think 9:30 CST. Let me once check. 9 a.m. Sorry, 9 a.m. India to CST. Yeah, that would be 9:30 for you. So almost like 9:30 PM for you, CST. And plus or minus 30 minutes we can always have depending upon the crowd. So if
Can you
someone wants,
try EST also?
okay, EST, let me try.
10:30.
No, what I meant was
Okay, sorry.
IST to EST.
So that would be 10:30 PM the previous day for you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I had to cover this technical topic. So if you have any technical question, we can have it. Otherwise, I can pass it on to the salesperson, and he can cover up the rest of the thing, the duration, the course material, the course pricing, and the discount that he has to offer.
I have like a
Sagar,
very generic question.
oh,
Yeah, go
Uh,
ahead.
when we have this framework, which is like significantly easier than Python, then why we still may need Python in networking field specifically?
See, robot framework is built on top of Python itself, and Python is going nowhere. It is just that these libraries like Netmiko, Nornir can get deprecated if they don't have any major test cases. Okay, robot framework or any other framework will take up on Python. So that is something that is a upgrade that is going on.
I see. Thank you so
Because
much.
with Netmiko, what happens is you have very limited test cases. You can only do SSH, or you can let's say it's a vendor neutral. And also Netmiko, you know that it does a connection after connection. There is no concurrency or parallelism option in Netmiko until you add some libraries like concurrent library or thread library. Whereas robot by default comes with the concurrency. It is a vendor neutral. You don't have to define anywhere whether it's a Cisco or it's a Junos or it's a Palo. So robot has more options when compared to some specific libraries. So Python is going nowhere. Python will still be there. The new advanced frameworks will come into the market, and the demand will raise for those things. Now, like how CXTM came with robot framework, there could be people asking developers on the robot framework rather than Netmiko, rather than Nornir or any specific library.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you so much, Sagar.
Okay. I also see one question. I have a doubt like why we have a Cisco SD-WAN, DNAC and Catalyst tool from Cisco. Why we need automation? See, I'll tell you, any graphical based are not automation. They are again a manual effort. If you want to create, let's say, if you want to push a template, or let's say you want to do certain things on or over on the graphical interface, you still have to do it manually, right? If let's say if I go to DNAC and I have to do the upgrade, which is called swim process, I have to open the workflow, I have to select the device, I have to select the iOS template, I have to click next, I have to set the pre-commands, I have to click next, I have to set the timers. It's a wizard, or it's a workflow which happens on the dashboard. But with automation, what we do is we just create a template, we just put the devices and we just click run button, which anyone can do it. If you just even show it to a person that this is what has to be done at this time, he can trigger that. But can that same person do that on the graphical interface? The graphical interface include 4 to 5 or 6 steps. Say, for example, creation of whips or pools or nodes in F5 load balancer. You might have to create 10 or 100 different nodes on the graphical interface, which need manual intervention. You will click on the nodes, you will put the name, you will put the IP, save it, then go to the repeat step again, so 100 times. Whereas with the automation, you just put it under the for loops and push it. Your script is only 10 lines, and you can do create 100 of nodes just in 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes. But manual intervention, you might take 1 week to do it. And what about the human errors there? What if you're making wrong entries? You're adding node 1, but you are entering the IP of node 5. Again, you will go and delete that. Again, you will do the troubleshooting. So it's more manual efforts on the dashboard. Dashboard is okay to only go check the things and come out. You can't do the bulk configuration from the dashboard. Okay, so that is why we also run on top of this dashboard the third party automation via Postman or via the request Python library, uh, so that things are easy and you can scale the things. Yeah, go ahead. I think there were a few more questions.
Yeah, Sagar, I wonder, I have older legacy routers and switches. We still use Telnet. Can we use the libraries for Telnet, or is it all just
Yeah.
SSH?
Yes, you can use even the telnet ones. These libraries are capable of telnet protocol as well. Okay, if you know
Okay.
this Netmiko library, you can still use it for telnet, as well as there are library specially designed for telnet as well. Telnet lib. You can use that for the TCP 23 port number, which is
All right.
telnet protocol.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Sagar, just a generic question. So, in the background, when you run the library, you just need to have the connectivity to the node. It will, in the backend, it will automatically use its SSH or Telnet library and log into the node, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. That is what happens in real world. When we push anything, uh, there are some libraries which are legacy SSH connectivity based. So Netmiko also make use of library like Paramiko to
Okay.
to talk to the device over on SSH protocol and take the connection.
Okay. And just on your previous question about the Python versus Robo, so do you think Robo will be like, the next thing forever, or we
No,
still need to learn Python?
not forever. There could be another framework would be coming up with more functionality. So we never know. But at present situation, a robot framework is equally good and popular.
Okay.
Because there are only hardly few frameworks. Like one of them is pyATS, pytest, robot framework. The good thing about robot framework is you can integrate with any other libraries. So that's
Okay.
the one of the the best part of robot framework.
Like Python library can work in Robo
Yes,
framework.
yes, yes. Any robot framework you can easily add Netmiko to that, or any Excel libraries to that.
Yeah. But it still means that we should keep on continuing learning Python, right?
Yes, Python will not go anywhere. The
Yeah,
libraries
yeah,
can
yeah.
deprecate. Let's say Netmiko is today very popular, but tomorrow it's down, completely down. So, so there is where this can be a huge popular this thing, the robot thing.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Hey, Sagar. So in the course, are you, let me frame it a little differently, the question, because obviously for the, for traditional network engineers like us who are very, very new to automation, in the course, are you kind of starting going through the CCNA level? Because, in what you're describing now, they're one of the biggest hurdles that the traditional network guys have is all the terms that you're using and everything else that's involved with it. Do we have to learn all of that? Which is fine, if you have to learn it, you have to learn it. That's just the way it is. But at which position are you using which particular category, right? And I think that's really the biggest hurdle for
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
who's very, very new to automation.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand. I can understand. See, for that reason itself, first module will be the Python theory. We will not be talking about any robot or any Netmiko during this phase. This is the section where we will be only talking about the generic Python as an programming language. So this is the section where we will go via all the basic to basic of Python. What is variable, what is string, what is dictionary, what is boolean values, what is for loop, what is condition making, what is error handling. Everything will be discussed in this, and then only we move to the hands on. So day one is not our hands-on. We will have initial few sessions just for the theory and the small exercises. Very generic thing, not even related to the networking. Very generic things, and the common terminologies and the concepts will be cleared. Then only we will go with the hands-on on the library part. So by this section, I expect that you are familiar with Python and you know what am I trying to say, what is for loop, what is while loop, and how do you put them all in one hood and run them. So you will be in a better place when you reach the hands-on. So that is how I'll be taking the sessions, so that no one is left out or think that programming is something out of world or something.
So at the very, very foundational level, Python is still there. Like you're still basing everything upon Python, and all these other everything that you see on the right is basically kind of built on top of it.
Correct, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
these are all built on top of what we are going to discuss on the first section.
Yeah. Same. Okay.
Any other technical question? Okay, so I'll hand over to my team member Sajid. So he will be presenting the next section. So Sajid, are you there in the call?
Yeah, I'll take it from you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm just stopping my screen share.
Hello everyone. Myself Sajid. I'm student relationship manager and the counselor. I'm here to give you all the details regarding to the course enrollment, course access, course materials. So what all access and everything you'll be getting. And with that, I'll be giving you the pricing offers which is going on now with this workshop lecture. Okay. So, can anyone confirm? Okay, are you able to see my screen? And I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah, we could hear you and see you.
Okay, okay. Thanks for confirmation. So, let me start with my first slide. So, as you guys can see here, I have mentioned course syllabus and class schedule. So, this will be going to be a Python network automation course. So, here in this course, we'll be going to cover Python, Ansible, and REST API, then pyATS, then DevNet, then SD-WAN automation, then firewall automation on Palo Alto, FortiGate, Cisco ASA firewall, and on FI/LTM load balancer, and other vendors like Arista and your Juniper devices. So overall, this will be going to be some multi-vendor training towards the network automation perspective. Okay, and I think our trainer Sagar sir has given you all the details regarding your technical things related to the course. Okay, and next, let me move towards the class schedule. So this will be going to be a weekend batch, Saturday, Sunday, from 9 a.m. IST to 11 a.m. IST. Okay, and the course duration will be 3 months. Okay, overall, this will be a weekend batch, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Sorry, 1 second, I have one mistake. Yeah. So 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. IST, and the course duration will be 3 months. Okay. And let me move towards the next slide. Here, as you guys can see, the course enrollment and access details. So what all access will be providing you is like, firstly, we'll be providing you the lifetime recording access of your classes, which you will be attending through the Zoom meeting. The recordings you will be getting on our web portal, on our LMS. From there, you can access the recordings whenever you want. So if in case if you are practicing for some topics itself, or if you are recalling something, and if you are re-practicing, or if you are preparing for some interviews, anything it may be, you can just log into our LMS and you can access the recordings, and that will remain with you for lifetime access. And secondly, we'll be providing you the 24/7 unlimited lab access, that too for 6 months, 24/7 bar lab accessible as per your time regions. So you guys can access your labs. Okay. So according to your times, and because for that reason we have kept it 24/7 unlimited access. So we'll be having some multiple region candidates will be joining this course. So to get all feasibilities to practice the labs as per according to their available time, so we have given the 24/7 unlimited access. Okay, and next let me move towards the third point. Here you'll be getting the all workbook, PPTs, PDFs, step-by-step lab manuals, and your all script writing materials. So which all scripts are generated in the classes. So that will be posted in our G Drive, or that will be given by our trainer Sagar sir in our official group, so that you can take it from there and you can implement in your lab environments. So you can just do all the things, and these all are the downloadable materials, and the G Drive access remains with you for lifetime. If in case if you lost your this material, and you can re-download it once again whenever you want, and you can save it with you. Okay. And towards the fourth point, here we'll be providing you the home lab setup. Let's say if you have the good configuration of your system, then we will help you out to set up a home lab, so that once you are done with your remote lab access, further you can practice on your personal laptop or personal server. So we'll be giving you the downloadable files. So you just need to download the files and let us know on our by our support deal. So one of our team member will connect with you, and he will do the initial setup on your personal laptop or your personal server, and that will also remains with you for lifetime access. And we'll be providing you the 24/7 backend support from our NetworkJourney team. If you are facing any issues, any queries regarding to the course, or regarding to the portal, or regarding to the lab, or it may be related to anything, or any queries regarding to your production thing, or anything, we'll be there to assist you with the right solution. So we'll be giving you the exact revert back in the meantime of 30 minutes or 15 minutes as per the queries. Okay. And these all access which we'll be providing from our end. Okay. And next